For some reason, the first thing I hear people say when talking about Google's new tablet, the Nexus 7, is asking the question if it's an iPad killer. And I think that might be the wrong question, because I don't think the Nexus 7, which recently got my hands on, is an iPad killer, but I do think it might be an iPad changer. And I'll tell you what I mean by that here in a few things. First, I want to tell you a couple of the things that I don't like about the Nexus 7, and there's lots to like about this thing. Number one, no 4G. There isn't any kind of thing where you can buy a data plan and have this available to you over the course of wherever you are. Right now you're locked into a Wi-Fi signal. Now that actually simplifies things a little bit, because you kind of have to know where you're at and what you're doing, and you don't have to pay a monthly fee for it. Once you buy the machine, it just does what you want it to do, as long as you've got Wi-Fi available and you don't have to worry about paying for the data or using your data in that way. But there is a lot to like about this little machine, and very specifically the things that are going to change the game for the Nexus 7 have a lot to do with, first, the form factor. You can see by the way it sits in my hand that it's a lot smaller than an iPad. I think it's a 7-inch screen as opposed to the iPad, which is 9.5, I believe, and it makes a huge difference. Whereas when you're holding an iPad, it feels more like you're holding a bigger book, or even close to kind of that, getting towards those tablet-sized, or not tablet, but the laptop-sized ideas. It's certainly not heavy like that. It's just kind of big and bulky like that. But this fits really well in your hand. It makes it ultra portable. You can just throw it in a cargo pocket, or for a woman you can throw it in a purse, and it really makes it portable. And I really think that's a game changer, because the screen is still big enough to see all the things that you want to see. Movies look great on it, and as well as text is easy to read on it. And yet at the same time small enough to really be portable. And the second thing is the price point. $199 seems to be the magic price for a tablet, started by, I think, Kindle's Fire was at $199, and now with the Nexus 7 being $199, compared to the iPads, which start, I think, at $499. That's a huge difference, and going to change a lot about it. Now, is this as high-tech a machine as an iPad is? Probably a lot closer than you would think. Of course, the answer is no, but it operates really, really well. It is very, very fast. I've seen very few lags with it. I've had a little bit on some of the high-def video. A little bit of that has lagged, but very little besides that. It integrates perfectly with Google if you use a lot of Google products, with Gmail, with Google Voice. You can send texts through the Google Nexus, so you can use it as a texting device if you have a Google Voice account, as well as obviously other Google products, Google Docs, Google Calendar. All those just integrate seamlessly from the moment you turn it on, which is a really big deal for me, and I really enjoyed that. As well as the screen on this thing is really, really beautiful, looks really great, and probably the most impressive thing is the new operating system that Google has developed, Jelly Bean, and it is slick. It is fun. I think they call it Google Now. There's a Google Now button, which is maybe kind of the Google version of Siri, which you basically just ask it real-world human voice questions, and it gives you answers. And a lot of those answers it will say back to you, and you can do a lot of those things. You can ask it for directions, and it'll show you those right away. So it really has a lot of features that you might not expect for a $199 price point. Overall, is it a perfect tablet? For $199, it's pretty close to about as perfect as you can get for that price. I don't think it will kill the iPad, but it is going to force Apple to really kind of rethink the size and the price of their machines when it comes to the next iPad.